Hi everyone, welcome to Wildwood Studio. I'm Sarah, and in today's video, I'm doing a burning of some snakes. As per usual, I'm using my razor tip burning system, and this artwork is on a 6x6 inch piece of European beechwood. Basswood is still my favorite wood to burn on, but since I'm currently living in France, I wasn't able to find any of that in my local art stores. I could have ordered it online, but I'm a bit particular when it comes to choosing wood because I like to pick something where the grain isn't going to get in the way of what I'm burning. So if I ordered it online, who knows what kind of odd lines and knots I could have ended up with. So, like a crazy person, I went through all of the boards of this size that they had at the store, and I chose this one because I liked it best. That being said, this kind of wood still isn't quite as pale as basswood, and the grain is a bit more visible. But I've been working with it all year, and I think it still turns out quite nice. In terms of the image I'm doing today, I chose to do a snake because I do a lot of animals with fur, so I have a lot of practice when it comes to that. And I wanted to try something that would be a bit more of a challenge for me. I started out with burning the background elements because I've been experimenting with including other things in my compositions along with just the subject, and I didn't want it to feel like it was just added on at the end. So doing that part first meant that I gave the background just as much attention as I'm going to give the snakes. I'm also trying out a new camera in this video, so there are a couple of points where the video jumps a bit, where something's not finished and then suddenly it is. That's because the camera died and I didn't notice. So I apologize in advance if that happens a couple of times. Also, in the first half of the video, you might notice that I was turning my artwork a lot. The reason that I do this is because my pen is attached to a larger unit by a cord, so it sort of pulls on the end while I'm trying to draw, so that in combination with the shape of the spoon shader that I'm using, makes it difficult to get certain angles by just rotating my hand, so it's a lot easier for me to rotate the whole artwork. I know that this can make it a bit hard to follow at times because of how much I speed up the video, so I hope it's not too bad for you guys to watch, but I did try and cool it on the spinning a little later on, and I just moved my body around the artwork instead. For the background sections of the snake, I did the scales with no outlines because the further back they are, the less they are in focus. As I moved forward to things in the foreground, I added more outlining around the scales. And yes, my nails did just turn purple. I did this artwork over a couple of days, and I wasn't willing to take off my nail polish for continuity reasons. So you can see some fine outlines on the head, and in the body section at the front, I outlined almost all of the scales. I usually use almost no outlines in my burnings because I find that hard outlines flatten things, especially when you're working on facial features or something fluffy, but because this snake's scales, for the most part, are really smooth and well defined, I thought that this would make them pop more. For the large body section in the front, I stopped using hard outlines near the top because the lighting changes since this is a rounded form, so the outlines become less visible as it curves up. I also used this same idea in the section where the snake's body is resting on the branch, because here the branch is pushing up on the snake and causing an extra curve right there. After I was done with outlining all of those scales, I took some time to shade each one. The shading for these is a bit darker near the center because snake scales aren't completely flat, so they can't just have a flat gradient from top to bottom. About midway through all of my shading, I used a regular white eraser to remove the pencil lines so that I had a better idea of how the burning was turning out. Because the outlines caused deeper grooves in the wood, some of the eraser bits got stuck in those grooves and I had to use my unplugged burning pen to pick them out. This is because no one likes the smell of burning rubber, and also because all of those little white specks don't look very good. The last thing I always do is sign my work, and I just use a straight edge. In this case I was using a photo strip from a photo booth to create two little guidelines just to make sure that my writing doesn't change sizes halfway through or something like that, because I always just freehand that part. In the end, I was really pleased with how this turned out, and I hope you like it too. So that's all for this video. If you want to see more of my work, you can check out my Facebook page. Also, please make sure to like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe to my channel to see all of my future art videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.